Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and I am here with a Project Pan update. This is for the Project 5 Uses Project Pan. I decided to bring this project into my rotation because I wasn't getting use out of all the new products I was purchasing, and I wanted to make sure that I liked them before I decided that I was going to keep them or declutter them to other people. This has been a really great project for me to get through all of my new items, and I've been loving it because it allows me to play with things, but also not have so many uses that I can't get through my other Project Pan items. So I have almost a total refresh this time. I'm very excited. So hang on a minute, and not even a minute, like a couple seconds, and I will get into what I have finished, things I'm going to roll in, and all that good stuff. Okay, let me get into the products that I had in the last rotation. The first one is this Rare Beauty blush in the shade Encourage. This is so gorgeous. I really enjoyed using it. You guys, a little tiny dab, you'll see how that's gonna go a super long way. These blushes are no joke. I mean, they sheer out beautifully. You can definitely layer them. And this is a beautiful shade. So I'm super glad I got this blush, but I mean, it could last me, like, no joke, the rest of my life. I have another blush this one's from Phytosurgeons, and it is in the shade Condensate. And I really enjoyed this one too. I was nervous at first because it is a little bit dark. And when I first put it on, I thought, oh no, it's gonna look like a bruise. There's the tiniest bit there, and I just stuck it there on my skin. But this one, you can sheer out beautifully too, and I really enjoyed using it. I have enjoyed almost all the products that I tried from Phytosurgeons. The only thing I really didn't like was the highlighter. It's a really strange formula, and it just didn't jive for me, but that's okay. A lot of people like it. But I would purchase more products from them. Then I had in my MAC Bronze Medalist. This is technically a powder blush duo, but I use this as a bronzer, and mixing these two together really looked beautiful on my skin. So I'm going to show you a swatch of them together. There it is. And it is a little bit more of a highlighty bronzer, you can see, or a glowing bronzer, but it really did well on my skin. I felt that, you know, and I didn't always mix that Medalist part in. A lot of times would just use the bronzer, and that also just looked lovely. Amy Melissa decluttered this to me, and it really worked well on my skin, so I enjoyed using that as well. I also had in a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfecting Powder. This is a highlighter in the shade Opal. I really enjoyed using this. It is a beautiful shade. I think that it does better for me in the summer because it is a little bit deeper of a highlighter. There it is right there, and you can tell it's a little bit deep, but it just leaves such a beautiful shimmer. I'm really jazzed that, well, that's a weird, I haven't used that word in a while. I'm really happy that Smashbox decided to bring back the Becca highlighters because they are really a beautiful formula. If you've not tried them, you should. They're gorgeous. I also brought in this La Roche-Posay Tinted Mineral Anthelios Light Fluid Sunscreen. This was a mini. I had it in to use 5 times. It is a little bit dark for me. I primarily use this in the summer, and I got more than 5 uses out of this. I think I got like 7 or 8. So it's done, and it's going to be in my empties bin. I'll show it to you at the end of the year in my 4th quarter empties video. I had 2 foundations in. One is this Dior Backstage foundation in the shade 0N. I swatched every single shade in the store, and I was so like I guess I was really surprised to see that I was their lightest shade. This is a super duper light foundation. I'm just gonna put like a dab on my skin so you can see it. But what I like about it is that it just blends really nicely into my skin. And even, look at how light that is. I mean, it blends out beautifully for me, and it allows my other products to sit nicely on top, and it was not too light for me. I thought it was perfect. On the contrary, this House Labs foundation, I had used Jalon's when we were in Rhinebeck last year, and I really thought it was a good shade for me, but when I bought it, I bought the same shade as I used of hers. I do think it's a little bit too deep, and I'll rub that in. I mean, this is not my face, but you'll get the idea. It's a little bit too dark for me. See that contrast there? And for that purpose, I would only probably use it in the summer, or I would sheer it out like a lot, because I felt that it made my skin look almost a little bit orangey, but it's a beautiful foundation. It sits really nicely on the skin, and I'm not really a foundation girl. With that, I mean, I find that they're a little too heavy for my liking, so I have been using a lot of like skin tints lately, but this one was really lightweight, but it covered, and I really liked that. So I didn't want to declutter it because it wasn't a bad foundation. It was just a tad dark. The next thing I had in was this Sydney Grace On a Cloud Cream Highlighter. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. However, if you don't work with it, it will show up kind of clumpy on your skin. So you really have to put it on and blend it out like really well. I found that if I placed it somewhere and didn't blend it out right away, it would leave like a chunk. So it's not the most user-friendly, but I mean, come on. That's gorgeous. So I'm definitely keeping it in my collection. I only used it 3 times so far, so this is staying in the rotation, but that's the only one. The final 2 products. The first of the final is this Persona eyeliner in the shade Black. I'm not gonna swatch it. It's just a black eyeliner, but I hated this. I used it like 3 times and I decided to declutter it. The reason being is that it traveled everywhere. It's a very beautiful liner as far as gliding on. I didn't have to tug my eyes, but every time I wore it, it got in my waterline, it got below my eyes, and it just did not look good, and it smeared. So for that reason, I am decluttering this. You might have a better experience with it, and great. I hope it works for people, but for me, no bueno. And then last but not least, I had in this Give blush in the shade, this is the Feelin' Cheeky blush in the shade Ex-Girlfriend. Oh my gosh, did I enjoy wearing this. I'll show you the 2 shades. These are absolutely beautiful, and they look a little bit scary because they really are bubblegum pink. I mean, pink, 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 like Barbie pink, bubblegum pink, but they just looked so beautiful on my skin, and they were really fun to wear. So I am definitely keeping these, or this duo in my collection, and I am going to really love using them the next time I get around to pulling that out of my collection and putting it in my panning area over there. So what am I bringing in? Well, I am bringing in 9 items because I am rolling out 9 items. Of course, my nose is now starting to run. So let me show you the eyeshadows I decided to bring in. I'm bringing in this eyeshadow from Adriana Nicole Cosmetics, another influencer that I was watching in a totally different sphere, and not even a makeup person, had this on her eyes, and she had said she found this company, and so I went on and purchased one. Look at this shadow. It's called Ethereal. This is gorgeous. It took a little while to get to me. I was a little disappointed in how long it took, but it is so worth it. Oh my gosh. This is a Black-owned makeup brand. Holy cow, her products are like gorgeous. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay, so I am very, very excited to try out this as like a topper or just a one and done and see what it does. I mean, even from this far away, it's like, woo! I can't wait. I'm also bringing in 2 Sydney Grace shadows. These were decluttered to me by Amy Melissa as well because she had doubles in her collection. This one I stuck my nail in. I was so sad. But I have New Orleans and voila. So this is New Orleans and this is voila. And here is what they look like. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe I'll try that purple with that Adriana Nicole ethereal shade. I can't wait to try that. That'll be used very soon, I am sure. So those are going to go into my panning bins. The next thing I decided to bring in was this Kaja Cloud Latte Play Bento. I got this on a recent trip to, actually I got this when I was with Valerie and we were on our cross-stitching retreat. So let me show you what these look like. There are 3 products. I have a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer. But what surprised me is the bronzer, I have 2 powders. The blush is a powder, and then the highlighter is a powder, but then the bronzer is a cream. I was like, what's that about? So there they are. And then there they are swatched. So I'm excited to try it. My hands are super dry right now. I've been washing them like crazy because I've been dipping into products, and I always like to wash my hands so that, you know, I don't ruin my products or get them really, what do you call? I like to keep them clean. Here we go. All right. I'm also going to bring in 2 of these Good Apple products that I just hauled from the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. So this is the KVD Good Apple Blush in Secret Thicket. There are 2 shades here, as you can see. These are wicked emollient. Holy moly. So there's, oh my gosh, yeah, wicked emollient. So there are the 2 shades there. It's like, they're like paint almost. That's how emollient they are. And then I have the bronzer and sculpting duo, Bronze and Sculpt, and this is in the shade Fair. So I'm bringing these in. These are super emollient too. There they are. The bronzer and the blushes right here. I'm very excited to play with those. I've heard a lot of good things about them, and I wouldn't have purchased from Kat Von D, but when she decided to sell her company and went to KVD, I was like, okay, I'll try stuff now. Then I have in 2 bronzers. I brought in the Sigma bronzer in, this is the matte bronzer in light. I keep hearing like Samantha March, Kelly Gooch, Sarah Rose. They really talk about this product a lot, so I decided to get it. And there is the bronzer from Sigma. It's a beautiful shade, and I think it'll work really well for me. And then on the same trip with Valerie that I found the Kaja Bento thing, I found this Give bronzer in Toastin', and there is a, the top one is a cream and the bottom one is a powder. So cream and powder. I'm just swatching all up my arm. Okay, so those are really good shades too, I think, for me. These 2 right here is the Give, and I'm very excited to try those. And then last but not least is a powder product. This is from Fenty Beauty. It's their Pro Filter Powder in Lavender. I've really been intrigued to try a lavender powder because I hear that it really brightens, and I think it'll be really nice for my skin tone, and it is lavender. I mean, this in this container, it is lavender. It's very beautiful looking, but I'm just going to swatch it here. You can't tell. I mean, it'll be really neat to see what it looks like on the skin, because when you look at the swatch, it's just like, okay, what is that? But I'm going to be using it 5 times before I roll it out of this project. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like and how it works with my skin. Does it make, you know, is it too drying? Like, what's the formula like? I've never tried a Fenty Beauty powder before, and I've heard really good things about them. So anyway, I need to clean myself up. I tried to clean off a little bit of this right now, but I need to go clean myself up because I am a hot mess from swatching all this stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know what you think of the items that I rolled in. Have you tried any of them? Let me know how they work for you. I'm really curious. And thank you guys for giving me some time today. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.